Friends, let's learn about metaphysical poetry, the characteristics. Metaphysical poetry is a term coined by poet and critic Samuel Johnson, who described a loose group of English lyric poets of 17th century whose work was characterized by ample use of conceits and which were based on the topics like love and religion. These poets were not formally affiliated. They were not getting any kind of recognition in 17th century. The poetry was extremely intelligent and witty, deeply religious but not ironical. It was a little bit different from other types of poetry. Poems classified in this category share certain characteristics. They are highly intellectualized and use of strange imagery and contain complicated thoughts. If we go to the meaning and origin of this particular type of poetry, the word meta means after. Thus, metaphysics deals with the questions that cannot be explained by science, and it questions the nature of reality in a philosophical way. Metaphysics can cover a broad range of topics from religious to consciousness. Metaphysics is about exploration and philosophy, not about science and mathematics. Seize the day and enjoy the love while you can. This is the message given by these kind of poems. Seize the flower before they wither away. The popular themes during Renaissance were the learned imagery of metaphysicals made the poetry different from the Renaissance poems. The conceit is a typical quality which was the metaphysicals maintained in their writing. A significant feature, we can call it, is a unique quality of metaphysical poetry. It is an image, a faculty of imagination, a fancy. It is making the comparison of two dissimilar things which may have very little in common. Dr. Johnson defined it as the most heterogeneous elements yoked together, and Dryden was the first poet who used the term in his quote, like "done affects metaphysics." It is overloaded and elaborated use of similes, metaphors brought from remote and unfamiliar sources, excessive use of figures of speech, and logical and intellectual imagery make the poetry very difficult and obscure one. There is a combination of spiritual, material, remote, near, abstract and concrete objects. Even scholastic philosophy or medieval theology was referred to while writing this poem. This brought originality and newness to the typical quality of the poems written in Renaissance period. Metaphysical poetry became very unclear or ambiguous or obscure due to high intellectual quality and knowledge of metaphysical poets. They have the habit of writing the poems in abrupt manner to arrest the attention of the reader. The opening becomes abrupt. Witticism is used to surprise and capture the attention, of course, and which makes it difficult and complex to understand. There is fusion of emotions and intellect. The poetry is greatly challenging to understand at the first reading. It needs full concentration and full attention to getting to the roots of the matter. The argumentative tone of the poem again makes it different from the conventional type of poetry. It uses scientific, medical, legal words and phrases to create arguments about the philosophical aspect of life. This way, we can call the metaphysical poetry as spiritual and has often religious themes focusing on love as the union of soul, which was somewhat different from the conventional poetry written in Renaissance period. Friends, I hope you understood the characteristics, meaning and origin of metaphysical poetry in general. Thank you very much.